So this is my Dina Wakley multi-surface journal, and this is one of those pages that I used for mop-up, and I've just literally walked into the craft room and I'm not even sat down, I've actually stood up, and I've just grabbed a pot of white gesso, or clear gesso, sorry, and I'm just going over the top of this mop-up page because it was a little bit shiny. So I'm going to have a play, just a real quick play, because after I did that mid-century kind of modern small art journal page on Tuesday, using, as if I can pull the page back up again, just in case you missed it, that one. After I'd done that one, I began to wonder what it would look like in reds, and if I did some stylized kind of poppies. So that literally is what's drawn me into my craft room. I wasn't even going to do anything. I just came in just to do a little bit of tidying up, and it just started to call to me. It was try it, do it. So I am. So I literally just opened up one of my pages in my Dina Wakley multi-surface, and I noticed that the paint in there had gone a little bit shiny, and I don't particularly like shine. So I've just grabbed my clear gesso. It's the Art Basics clear gesso, and the Finnabair one. Just gone over it quickly with a coat. That's going to take away some of that shine, and I'm just going to give it a quick blast, and then I'm going to have a go at doing those stylized flowers, but this time as poppies. So let me just get this dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all dry. Now, because I'm working in my Dina Wakley multi-surface, I'm going to use some Dina Wakley paints. So I've got the Dina Wakley Acrylic Ruby, and I've also got the Dina Wakley Acrylic Sedona. Both kind of reddish tones, one a little bit more terracotta-y than the other, but that's fine because I want two different tones. So these are the two sponges that I created, cut out from that cut and dry on Tuesday. So I'm going to load up the larger one with red paint. So I'm literally just going to do that and then grab a spatula and work the paint into the sponge. Hello, Mr. Bentley. Somebody's just woke up. You're going to hear him yawn in a second. You're going to yawn? No, you're not. Okay. So I'm going to put a fair amount of this red paint, and I'm going to load this cut and dry up and create kind of like a paint stamp pad. There he goes, running downstairs. So I've got that nice kind of stylized leaf shape, and I've got some nice paint. I'm just going to scrape off a little bit. I've got a bit of tissue. There we go. That'll do. And I'm just going to turn that round, and I'm going to stamp it down. Like so. I should be able to get 2 or 3 decent stamps out of that before it starts to go. And then I'm going to load up the Sedona on the other one, the smaller one, like so. Literally just push the paint into the foam, almost like creating a shaped ink pad, but loading it up with paint instead of ink. And it doesn't matter that you get that kind of sketchy, spongy kind of look and feel to it, because it's not supposed to be pristine and clean. Okay, so that's the Sedona. So we'll put one of those there, and one of those there, and I think, let's just try and add another red one. And I don't mind if I'm contaminating the paint a little bit, try and even the paint out. Should still be able to get a fair bit off this. And of course when you use your sponges like this, if you wash them really quickly after use, you're probably going to get all the paint out and you'll be able to use them again with a different colour. So they're not disposable. Okay, that'll do. Paint all over my hands now. I'm going to give that a blast with the heat gun and get it all nice and dry, and then I'll be right back once I'm done. Okay, so I'm back. They're all dry. I did go over that one there a second time because I wasn't really happy with all of that white showing through. I don't mind it down here, but up there I wanted it to be a bit more, let's just say, opaque rather than sketchy, if you know what I mean. Right, so I've just grabbed 3 of my permanent pens. I've got 2 of the Pigma Micron pens. I've got a number 5 and a number 2. But I've also got a very fine Copic multi-liner, 0.3. And what I'm going to try and do, he says, is I'm going to try and do, I've got a small ruler somewhere. Probably not, so I'm going to end up using a piece of card. I've got a small piece of card. Bop, 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 bop. All I want is just a straight edge to use. Come on! I must have something somewhere. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll be right back as soon as I found one. There we go. Could you believe I couldn't find a piece of scrap card anywhere? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin by just drawing some black straight lines, rather than curved ones like I did last time. I want some black lines, perfectly straight black lines, and I'm going to go through the middle on each one. Now remember, this is supposed to be a stylized kind of approach. And then I can go around adding in them dots after. So a different kind of approach to doing it. So again, just cross over somewhere in the middle. I'm not even going to go all the way through on that one. So I'm going to do the same thing now to each one of these kind of flower effect kind of things. So I'm just going to go into fast forward because you don't want to sit there and watch me do this in real time. Okay, so I've done all of the, what I'm going to call the spider leg ones. So just with the smaller micron pen now, I'm going to see whether I can just go into the middle. I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to have to use the larger one. Bigger the nib on this paint is probably better, and I'm just going to create some smaller ones just emanating from the middle. So again, from here big dot in the middle, and then just a couple emanating across. So again, I'm going to just go ahead and do this, and then speed right through. Okay, so that's the last of those smaller ones in the middle, and then all I need to do now is just to, is that a bigger one? Is that number 8? Oh, so let's just see whether that works. Grab a bit of scrap paper. Yes, my number 8 does work, so I can go back over those ones that are a little bit not quite so dark as what I want them. There we go. So some nice kind of stylized poppy flowers, and then of course I can bring those stems right down. And of course I need to just finish that off, so we'll do that little scribbly border, carry on with that dot motif. So already looking at this, I can see that I think something's missing. So I'm probably going to add something else into the background. But I'm liking that, but like before, I added some splatters to it, so I think I'm going to do the same again, but this time not do very many, just do a very, very small amount. And I'm going to use, have I got, yeah, there we go. I'm just going to use that block, and let's see if I've got a fan brush. Yep. I've got a very, very tiny amount of black paint. In fact, I'm just going to take some. This is black gesso from Indigo Blue, so I'm just going to add a real small amount, and I've got a little pot, a little spray pot, and that literally is going to do me. Just a few. Oh dear me. Who'd have a dog, eh? I'm not getting very many down here. Oh, you poor badly done to creature. I don't know whether you can actually hear him whining. There you go. He wants to go back to bed. That'll do. I'm happy with that. Right, let me just go sort out Mr. Bentley. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Dog settled. So, just want to add just a few more little specks. And I think that's going to do me. So I'll just need to clean up, wipe up, dry off those splatters, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so everything is now dry. So I want to add a little bit of a quote or a phrase to this page. So again, I've gone through my small talk stickers and I've just grabbed one which I think kind of speaks to me, that goes with this pretty well. So I'm going to add that to the bottom, just like that. Now I don't want that to be totally white, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my old paper and I'm just going to take a little bit of a cosmetic sponge and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of colour. And I just want to dull down that white a little bit to kind of make it just disappear a bit more into the background. I don't know whether or not the camera's actually picking up the fact that I'm actually adding a little bit of colour to that. I'll just use a little bit of that colour underneath just to add a little bit of a drop shadow under each one, but it's a real subtle. Probably the camera's not actually picking it up. Hopefully when I do the photography for this at the end it will do. But it's a little tiny little subtle difference in colour, just to add like a little bit of a shadow. Real subtle. The more I go over this, the darker it gets. It just knocks it back. That'll do. I'm happy with that. So all I need to do now is just to sign and date this. So I'm going to just sign that down there at the bottom. And what was it today? 3rd or 4th today. Oh, rubbish with dates. Oh, wake up, Mr. Computer. It's the 4th of October. There we go. That will do me. That's not bad for somebody who wasn't supposed to be sitting down and creating anything, but was supposed to be tidying up instead. Whoops. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.